You know what Sony had? The Holy Trinity. Leo, Brad, and Margot. Who do you have?
This week, Shane and I return from the London Film Festival to discuss J. Kelly, Noah Baumbach's new film starring George Clooney and Adam Sandler. This is Boy Party.
Shane Kelly, Cary Grant, Shane Kelly, Gary Cooper, Shane Kelly, Clark Gable, Shane Kelly.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special podcast. You are listening to Boy Party. You are also listening to Adam and Ben New and Selected. This is a podcast about cinema's most legendary team-ups, films where two or more major stars share the screen and battle it out for screen time, top billing, the fatter paycheck, and the most acclaim. Sometimes those two stars are Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller. If you're listening on the Adam and Ben feed, welcome, welcome. We are back. We are here on a special dual episode of our two podcasts this week to discuss a very special Adam Sandler Boy Party as he co-stars with George Clooney in Noah Baumbach's new film, J. Kelly. I am joined, as always, by Shane Kelly. I didn't need to say much else there.
Close enough.
Close enough. Welcome, Shane. We have returned from the London Film Festival, which we attended for a couple of days. We saw J. Kelly ahead of its release, which is in a few weeks' time. We saw a couple of the films too, and we will do a quick recap of those later in the episode. But we do want to front load the J. Kelly conversation that you've all been waiting months and months for. Mm-hmm. This was top of my list, most anticipated films of the year. I think it was Sentimental Value, it was Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, were kind of my top three. I've now seen all of those films. J. Kelly, probably the one of those that came closest to meeting my expectations, I would say. Mm-hmm. I think for me, this film hits exactly on target as what I expected it to be and how much I expected to enjoy it, which is to say it's pretty good and nothing life-changing and not my favorite Noah Baumbach film, not my favorite George Clooney or Adam Sandler film, not my favorite film of 2025, but I think it has a lot of merit. I had a really, really good time watching it, and it's just very warm and entertaining and nice and pleasant in a way where I may end up watching it 6 or 7 times in the next couple of years, just because it's going to become a comforting watch for me.
Absolutely, it's flawed, but it's charming and it's nice, and
like J. Kelly himself.
Yeah, kind of fell in the expected median outcome of what this could have been for me.
I think so.
I think the initial announcement of the cast probably a year ago had excitement at a peak.
Yeah.
Kind of slowly trickled off. Just we were getting trailers and the posters weren't super exciting, and
there was just a bit of a Netflix look to it, I think.
A little bit.
Whereas I think that Baumbach managed to avoid that with Marriage Story and to a lesser extent with White Noise, although I think this film is probably better than White Noise. But this film to me just looked a little bit more like the filmmaking craft was being diluted by the commerciality of it. It looked like a George Clooney Netflix movie a little bit more than it looked like a Noah Baumbach movie.
Yeah, maybe you were just never going to get the kind of dynamism out of the two guys that you would out of like Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver.
They're kind of set in their movie star personas in a way where you're not going to be surprised. You're never going to be that surprised by what Clooney and Sandler bring to a project.
Yeah, and like there seems to be... This film seems very based on the idea of using their existing star personas as kind of the basis of the plot of the film.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, for Clooney mostly, but Sandler to an extent as well.
I mean, it's completely biographical for Clooney. The casting of Clooney in this is incredibly on the nose. J. Kelly is a stand-in for George Clooney. Yeah. I imagine a lot of the cultural context around this fictional movie star is directly ripped from Clooney's own experiences of his career, and also his place in
the kind of
culture.
Scale of how famous he is in
feels
the film
Clooney-esque. He is a version of George Clooney who is, I suppose, a little bit more commercially minded. I mean, we must keep in mind George Clooney these days mostly directs. He doesn't star in big mainstream movies that often. We had Wolves last year. We have one every now and then, but I mean, George Clooney in the 2010s and 2020s has become sort of director first, movie star second. I would say almost like philanthropist second, tequila salesman third,
Nespresso pod salesman.
And movie star sort of fifth. But J. Kelly
is guy.
Yeah, J. Kelly seems to be just like lining up movie after movie. in many ways, he may be a hybrid of Clooney and Sandler, because the project that he is about to start shooting when this film starts is by these guys called the
Lewis Brothers.
The Lewis Brothers,
Yes.
who do seem vaguely like Safdie brothers.
Yeah, because at one point Sandler says, in order to get you this role, I had to go out and smoke white crack in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about brother directors who are hanging out in Brooklyn smoking crack, the Safdies are close to top of the list there.
Imagine so.
So maybe that's meant to be Clooney. Sorry, that's meant to be Jay Kelly going to do his Uncut Gems or his Smashing Machine. That's the decision his character's meant at that moment in his career is, I'm going to go work with these cool younger filmmakers. Yeah. So Clooney doesn't do that. Clooney isn't working with the Safdies. He should be. It would be great. He's doing the safe version, which is to work with Noah Baumbach, a middle-aged man his age who idolizes guys like him and old Hollywood and wants to make something very nice and gentle. And it was never going to be a biting look at a movie star's life. This film is very pro Jay Kelly.
Yeah,
and
for as biographical as it is, it's not exposing anything.
No, it's super, super like gentle and harmless in how it shows Jay's persona. At worst, he is shown to be very self-centered, narcissistic, and a negligent father. Many things that many movie characters, including many characters George Clooney has played, have been. And like at his lowest, Jay Kelly is, I guess, getting into bar fights with someone who has antagonized him and running off into the woods to have a sort of confrontation with his daughter. But like Jay Kelly's a pretty okay guy overall. On the spectrum of characters Clooney has played, he has played much worse people than Jay Kelly.
Yeah, he's generally pleasant, knows how to put on a fake smile, go to a funeral, the usual bits.
How many films can you name where George Clooney has played the title character?
We got Jay Kelly.
Yes.
Michael Clayton.
Correct.
Do the Oceans count? Is his name Danny Ocean?
Oceans count. Yeah, his name is Danny Ocean. Yeah. Obviously, he played Johnny Monster in Money Monster.
Oh, of course.
No, there's another one.
There, just one more.
I think there's just one more. Yeah.
Ooh. How old?
Sorry, no, there's two more.
Two more.
Yep. One is not a 5-star film.
Is he Caesar and Hail Caesar?
No, he's not. And one is a franchise thing.
Franchise?
Yeah.
Spit him out there. I'm not going to guess.
Batman and Robin.
Oh, of course.
And of course, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes, he is the Mr. Fox.
I mean, the Peacemaker and the American are borderline title characters. But anyway, George Clooney is Michael Clayton. George Clooney is Jay Kelly. They should have called it Fantastic Jay Kelly. No, they shouldn't have. Is it a good title? I don't think it's a good title, but I can't come up with a better one.
Yeah, thank you for just saying my name is not close to being a good
I just
name.
don't think Jay Kelly is anywhere close to being Michael Clayton in terms of title. Michael Clayton is one of the greatest titles ever.
Is Jay Kelly a bad movie star name?
Yeah, it is.
It's close to Gene Kelly, I guess.
Oh, I didn't think of that. It is close to Gene Kelly. I think it's too few syllables. I think 3 syllables, and your name's a bit different because there's no but I think Jay Kelly is not a movie star name. It's just too short.
Yeah,
it would be like if your movie star name was Bob Smith. It's just a little too generic. Clayton is unique enough that you're like, oh yeah, Michael Clayton.
Should have been J.F. Kelly.
J.F. Kelly, yeah. Well, it's do you know George Clooney was in a TV remake of Failsafe? I didn't know that. Or a film. Yeah, we haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, but we discussed that before.
We must have.
That was a random thing we learned.
That's wild. But yeah, Jay Kelly anyway he's a mix of Clooney and a few other guys.
He would have been a fun president in House of Dynamite.
Clooney. Yeah, he would have been. Oh well. We meet Jay Kelly as he's finishing filming a movie. He is clearly a little unsettled. He is about to hop onto this new project, and then his mentor figure dies. And this is a director played by Jim Broadbent. Mm-hmm. He finds out he's died, and we have a flashback to the last time he met the guy. The first of a number of sweaty flashbacks in this film.
Oh, yes.
That are all very, very creaky in how they're introduced.
I think every narrative device in this film is bad.
Yeah.
And I think the plot is
You're right.
poorly constructed.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Yes,
is
it is.
coasting entirely on charm and vibes and a few good jokes.
It's a very wonky film.
Absolutely.
And pacing is all over the place.
And like for someone we kind of consider such a good writer, it's full of cliches.
Yes. No, I think it is Baumbach's weakest script in years.
Yeah.
Probably his weakest script since Madagascar, Europe's Most Wanted. And I'm not joking there.
I mean, that is a similar travel
it's a
across
similar,
Europe,
it's a similar enough movie.
Traveling circus movie. Like.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. It is entirely coasting off of the cast. Now, it helps that it is the best cast of the year.
Yeah.
But it really is like the way these flashbacks are introduced and weaved in and out of is so clunky. Like he tries to do it with, Jay Kelly walks through a door and suddenly he's in the memory. Jay Kelly looks through a window and the memory is happening through the window. Sentimental Value, which we also saw in London, has something similar, but I feel like is much smoother in how it gets away with it. Sentimental Value is unashamed to just stop the film and go to a flashback and then come back, which isn't super smooth either, but it's less irritating than these kind of like weird camera panning through a window type segues. I don't know. Didn't really work for me.
Yes, maybe they could have made it more fantastical. The flashbacks,
maybe. But
I don't hate the Clooney wandering around in his own memories. Like I think it's,
I guess
it's not dreadful, but it's not. It's
having younger.
Again, it seems like a lazy writing device to just very explicitly show.
There's just
what they're referencing.
Yeah, there's just such a sentimentality to it that we're just not used to from Baumbach that's jarring. And like the idea of having younger actors playing the young version of Clooney and Billy Crudup, that's so unlike anything in Noah Baumbach's other films. Like he would never do that kind of thing. He loves having much more, like Marriage Story starts with flashbacks and montage, and it's done so seamlessly. I don't know. But anyway,
but it's not done as a gag either. It's the most sincere part of the film.
Exactly. Yeah. And this lacked that kind of clever montage, the showing us people's lives in these very clever little pockets. It just takes so long to communicate any of these memories.
It's got a bit of the old big old beautiful journey to
yes,
it.
It does. Yes, it does. The memories.
I think we have a problem this year where every film is converging into the one film.
Yes, but everything's got the same problems. It's like post-COVID screenplays have the same issues. 2025 American cinema is ticking a couple of dodgy boxes. Now, Sentimental Value is a Norwegian film, so we can't really throw that in. But I do think that like Jay Kelly and Big World Beautiful Journey and Hamnet and there was something else we saw that all have similar issues. Anyway, his director mentor figure is Jim Broadbent, is a man called Peter Schneider. Now I'm not really sure who he's meant to be. He's an old guy who can't get financing for his new film, so he's trying to persuade Jay to come back and star in it because he needs him to get the money. I don't know. Is he some sort of like Paul Schrader? Because his name is Peter Schneider. I don't know.
He's not a Coppola type. Just kind of.
I would say no. I would
he's
say
too unsuccessful.
I would say Paul Schrader, like a nice version of Paul Schrader. I don't know. Yeah. He has died, but we get this flashback, and then Jay and Sandler's character is called Ron. They go to the funeral and Billy Crudup shows up and he's like, "Hey Jay, good to see you, buddy." And you're like, "Ooh, this guy has a funny haircut. I don't trust him." Yeah. And Jay and Crudup go to a bar and have this very kind of stodgy conversation. Like Crudup is trying to turn this into one of his crazy manic morning show monologues, and I just think the script doesn't allow him to go that far.
Again, this conversation is remarkably predictable and full of
very predictable. Cliches. Like just like, "Oh man, I'm just working now as a child psychologist. It must be crazy to be a movie star."
And he's like, "Fuck you, Jay Kelly. You stole my life.
You stole my life." And Jay's like, "I didn't steal anything from you, man." And then they get into a fight outside and someone films it. And
they were friends in acting college. And
Jay is like, "Oh, fuck
Jay
this.
became a success.
My daughter is moving away. She's going to go to college soon. She's traveling Europe with her friends for the summer." His younger daughter is played by Grace Edwards, who I think is fantastic in this film.
She is the best.
I think she's maybe the best performance of the film. Yeah. She's got an amazing face. She's going to be huge. She was in Asteroid City in a small role, but she's got like great, unusual face, like unusual teeth, like definitely kind of in the sort of, I don't know, kind of spectrum of the Kate Winslets to the Margaret Qualleys, but with a more unusual look.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a comparison.
A bit of the daughter in Boyhood, the Lorelei Linklater as well to her. I really, really liked her in this. She is the younger daughter, and then Riley Keough plays the older daughter, who we really only meet in flashbacks or through phone calls. Yeah. Who's a teacher, and everything to do with her is quite dull, I thought.
It strips it has the same writing problems, but strips out the charm because there's no humor to it.
Yeah.
And also, instead of taking place in like beautiful Europe with kind of fun lighting situations going on, like the sunsets and the trains, it's set in a classroom or in a dark woods.
Yes.
So
every time you're pulled away to the roller coaster, you're like, I'll just go back to the sun.
it's like it's ugly and it's not funny.
Yeah.
And
I agree. So Clooney's like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go to Europe. So he books a plane, and he's bringing Sandler, and he's bringing Laura Dern, his publicist, and her assistant, who's played by the Irish actress.
yes, he's been
Graham.
honored in Tuscany, something which he denied or
They offered
it down.
they offered him a
times.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want it, so Sandler got them to give it to his other client, Patrick Wilson, instead.
Yeah.
But then Clooney goes back on his word and says yes, so now they have to sort out a second statuette.
Yeah.
As someone who works at an awards ceremony, this was a fun little side plot for me. But
I guess he rejected it the first few times. He's like, I'm not old enough to get a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm still a young man acting.
But he wants an excuse to go kind of along the same travel route as his daughter. So they all end up on a train to Italy. I'd say there's about 40 minutes in, they get on the train, and they're on this train for probably 30 to 35 minutes. It's a huge chunk of this movie.
A big train fan in movies.
You
like
do
when
love
people are on
trains.
trains and films.
Source Code. What other train movies?
The Neeson.
The Commuter.
Commuter or Nonstop?
The Commuter's the train
Commuter's the
one.
good one,
Various murders on Orient Expresses, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning.
Missions Impossible. The Culkin, what's it called?
Frankenheimer's The Train. Oh, A Real Pain.
A Real Pain.
You're right. This has a bit of a real pain. Yes.
Sorry, this is what we kind of predicted it to be initially.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like A Real Pain when we
No,
were
not
watching
in the
it.
slightest.
Because A Real Pain is a better movie with all this interesting post-Holocaust stuff that this just completely lacks.
There's like a sensitivity there that it's actually addressing.
This film could really do with some of that. Well, anyway, they're on the train, and Laura Dern is there, and Laura Dern's having fun, but as soon as they introduce the idea that her and Sandler are exes, it becomes very clunky because Sandler is married to Greta Gerwig, and he has lovely kids, one of whom is Sandler's real life daughter, Sadie, and then the other is a little boy who keeps saying, Dad, do you know about ghosts? Have you heard about ghosts? Which is, he's very funny. And Sandler and Greta Gerwig, like, great, what a lovely couple.
Yeah, because that functions as a nice parallel to the Jay Kelly family situation.
That's a nice marriage.
That's working.
So then it's weird to throw in the element of Dern as the ex who he's pining after, and he keeps being like, don't you remember when we were at the Eiffel Tower together?
She says that.
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because he ultimately
just weird.
had planned to propose to Laura Dern.
But then she fucked off to deal with Jay Kelly's meltdown.
Yeah, so I guess it's there to show like that Jay Kelly has kind of fucked up these people's lives, but like
that he takes up all the oxygen, that they had a potential romance that was kind of just
that was
work.
pretty sufficiently conveyed through Sandler having
need
to
this.
leave his daughter's tennis tournament.
Yes, exactly, to go deal with Jay.
Yeah, like it was redundant plotline.
The Sandler
character. To do.
The Sandler character is a really good study of like how someone's life can be completely kind of fucking spent on somebody else's crises. You know, it's like not just in like a movie star and his agent way, but like the idea that he is every minute of the day kind of both beholden to this guy for his career and also completely responsible for his well-being as if he's his parent.
Yeah.
Is an unusual dynamic in a film, and I found it really, really enjoyable to watch. And also, like, it's very rare to have a film with a star rep relationship where the rep is played by an equally famous actor.
I think so.
Like, this movie is such a good, high-functioning example of a boy party where you have cast somebody of equal status as the second banana guy, which creates a really interesting dynamic between the two actors. Because you're like, yes, George Clooney is the most famous movie star in the world, and Adam Sandler is like the fourth most famous movie star in the world. So there is a very clear comparison to this, to be fair. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
Very similar. I prefer this movie. I famously dislike that film, but I do think very similar in terms of like, you've got the most famous guy ever, and then you've got a slightly less, like really marginally less famous co-star. But that creates such an interesting energy bouncing back between the two guys. And Sandler in this is really good at playing a guy who's like living in the shadow of a bigger star. And Sandler has a good inferiority complex thing he can do, which he normally does as the lead in a film, but that here he like pulls out in order to like play a guy who is beholden to Jay. And I really, really enjoy it.
I think my favorite scene in this is when Sandler actually goes away from Jay Kelly for a while and meets his other client, Ben Alcott, played by Patrick Wilson.
Yes, it's a great scene.
And Sandler completely, it's very subtle, but he completely flips into taking on the Jay Kelly role, where he is the arrogant one, where he is the movie star of the scene when he's put beside Patrick Wilson. And yeah, it's a complete flip in personality where Patrick Wilson is spending all his time trying to appease Adam Sandler to keep him as his manager.
Yes.
And Sandler is like kind of dismissing him, and it's a very fun kind of shift just in the middle of the film watching
to show us what this.
Because you're like, oh yeah, Sandler is a fucking powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like, it's great performance there.
Yeah. No, I really like him in this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was like, what's the last film Adam Sandler wasn't first billed in?
It's Bat Mitzvah.
Bat Mitzvah, yes.
Mitzvah, yeah.
If we don't count that, because that is ultimately him in sort of a glorified cameo in his daughter's vehicle. What is the last film Adam Sandler was in where he wasn't first billed? He is first billed in Meyerowitz. He is first billed in the murder mystery movies.
Yeah.
I am trying to find out the answer to this. It has been a long time. Now, he plays a monkey in Zookeeper. Men, Women, and Children is an alphabetical billing situation.
Okay.
He's not the lead of that film, but it's hard to...
I haven't seen that.
It's hard to clarify that he's not first billed because it's alphabetical. So we're going back now. I'm back in 2010, 2009. Like, anytime he's in something with Aniston, he gets first billed. I think we are maybe going back to the previous century. Oh, I have your answer.
Yeah.
Anger Management. Nope. He's first billed in Anger Management.
No way.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
We are back now to 2001, 1998.
Airheads.
Like, probably Bulletproof. Bulletproof is the answer.
Okay.
1996. Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. That order. That's the last time that he was explicitly the second guy in a movie to another star. That's incredible. That is 30 years ago. So there you go. Jay Kelly.
I hope this is a new leaf for him.
But there's no one else who could, like, this is a once off because there's no one who's ever going to be first billed above Adam Sandler except George Clooney. Like,
if he ends up in something with DiCaprio somehow.
DiCaprio, Clooney, I think that's
I think
it.
Sandler trumps Pitt at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I think he trumps Downey Jr. I think Will Smith. No,
maybe not.
No, maybe not.
I can't
Cruise and Smith.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, crazy stuff. Anyway, so they're on the train. And the train's just full of wacky characters. You got Jamie Demetriou and his daughter. You got an old lady. You got these two weird German guys. I'm not bothered naming most of these actors, but there's just a bunch of people on the train. And Jay Kelly's like, I love people. I love talking to people.
And as he says, how can I play people if I don't meet people?
If I don't touch people.
If I don't know people.
Don't touch people, Jay.
Which is a fair point. He's so hyper isolated that he's kind of lost sense of himself.
But it's funny. He kind of holds court on the train and he kind of stands there and people just kind of ask him questions and he replies. It's like a political hustings on the train.
It's
like
fun. A guy sitting on college campus ask me anything.
Yeah, exactly. He's pulling Charlie Kirk. So there's a lot of train stuff and I like most of the train stuff with the big exception of this really random scene where one of the German cyclists who's been set up to be a nice guy suddenly steals an old woman's handbag and jumps off the train and runs into a field. Jay runs after him and gets the handbag back. And then it's sort of explained that the German guy is like off his medication and has mental issues and has done this in an act of psychosis. It's very weird. Very, very weird.
And everyone's just kind of like, yeah. Like, oh, well done, Jay. And he's like, yeah, that's
it's a really bad scene. It's badly shot.
And again, it's not setting anything up other than trying to create a sense of, oh, he might actually be a nice guy.
Yeah.
But it feels shallow in the moment and that he's doing it for attention.
I know. Other flashbacks we get in this time. We have a flashback to him doing in acting school where his teacher is Lenny Henry, who was at the screening. We have a flashback to him on set with a female co-star that he had a romance with, played by Eve Hewson, an actress I do not care for, but I will say I think that scene's one of the best scenes in the movie.
I think she's okay in it.
She's not bad. I think she's got a good face for that scene. It sets up a nice dynamic of him and her having a young boy actor they worked with who played their son, and the three of them would kind of hang around between takes.
Concept for
that's a concept for a movie. Like now, I famously talk about how I like to talk about how I was in this dance show as a child where I had two actors with me playing my parents, and we did these acted out scenes together, and those two people who played my parents were so kind to me. We had a wonderful experience working together, and then I never saw them again. Because if you're an 8-year-old child, you cannot hang out with your coworkers outside of work if they're adults, right? And the thing I've seen that reminded me most of that dynamic was the first season of The Rehearsal.
Okay.
And the relationship that Nathan Felder develops with the little boy on that who plays his son. And I thought that this scene actually kind of started to tread into that territory a little bit as well. And I would love to watch a film about that. Like, I'd love to see a film about like Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson hanging out with the kid from Marriage Story. Like, that's such an interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a fun scene. And then there's a flashback to Crudup having his audition basically stolen by J.A. for a Jim Broadbent lurking in the shadows.
Crudup actually just shit the bed and was bad in his audition.
And there's one more flashback. I feel like, yes, there's a flashback to Jay having a therapy session with his daughter with a therapist played by Josh Hamilton wearing a silly outfit.
It's the worst scene in the film.
It's the worst scene in the film. It's not funny at all. People were really laughing at this Josh Hamilton character. I thought it was a dreadful performance. I really didn't like it. So they're on the train. They get off the train, and Jay has invited his father to come, and his father shows up, played by the incredible Stacy Keach, who is a man I constantly, with respect, forget is still alive. And it's great to see him, and he's fucking on fire in this.
He's a great kick of life.
Really good. He's 84 years old, and he's really, really, really good in this. He has a couple of really funny scenes. Jay gives him a sweater, and he's like, I don't fucking want this. And yeah, I think it's good fun. We then have that scene with Patrick Wilson that you referenced.
Do we want to talk about the award maker?
There's this fantastic Italian actor who shows up as like one of the hosts at the festival.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you his name now in 2 seconds. This man's name is Giovanni Esposito, and some people might remember him from Woody Allen's To Rome with Love. I certainly did. He has the storyline in that as the man who has to this is a fun one. His character in To Rome with Love is a guy he's a beautiful singer in the shower. So his family and friends go, oh, you should become an opera singer. You should go sing in the opera. You have such a great voice. And he goes and becomes an opera singer, but he realizes he can only sing if he's in the shower. So they bring a shower and put it on stage at the opera house, and he stands in the shower while he sings on the stage at the opera house. He's great in this. So he introduces Jay to the man who has made his statuette, which is hideous, by the way. It looks like a fucking bowl of Ferrero Rocher. And you tell us the joke.
Yeah, he's wearing a mask, I guess.
He's got a mask like around his chin.
I don't think I registered. And then the guy the director of the festival or whoever was chatting.
Giovanni Esposito, yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's not the guy with
he's the guy talking.
He's the guy talking. And he's like, I'm sorry he's wearing a mask. He has infinite COVID.
It's so good. He goes, he has the infinite COVID. Funniest joke in the film. I laughed about it for like 2 straight minutes.
It's not even that funny.
I thought it was so funny.
Like, all right.
It was just so much funnier than anything else in the film.
The other running gag is that it's on Jay Kelly's what do you call it, a ride list or something? Rider, that he loves cheesecake and there should be cheesecake ready for waiting wherever he gets. And he doesn't like cheesecake.
Yes.
They go one too many with it, but
the second last one is good. They get in the car. There's a woman who's been hired to drive them around Italy. Is Alba?
So they've kind of gone from private jet to train, and eventually they're just in the back of a big Mercedes.
And Alba Rohrwasser is driving them around.
Standard old taxi.
And she just turns around and is like, "Your cheesecake," and hands it to him on a plate. It's really good.
Oh, I forgot about the cheesecake. Yeah,
it's good fun. Tom Francis is in this movie. I'm trying to figure out who he played. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Jay ends up stumbling out into the woods, calling his elder daughter, having a little mental breakdown.
Yeah, ultimately, the 10 people he brought with him on this trip to Tuscany all pretty much just leave one by one.
Yeah.
Dern is left at this point.
Everyone's left except Sandler, who is off dealing with other business.
And who was about to leave until he was basically groveled to by Jay Kelly to hang around.
Patrick Wilson's wife is played by Isla Fisher, who we love, who has like nothing to do in this. And the co-writer of the film, the great Emily Mortimer, plays a hairstylist who basically fucks off to Paris to do Emmanuel Macron's hair.
So that was on her schedule before Jay Kelly decided.
So she's only in the film for 2 minutes. She is the first person you see on screen at the very start, though, which is fun.
Oh, yeah. It opens like an episode of The Studio.
It does open like an episode of The Studio. This film could have done with being more like The Studio. Yeah. It does have a lot of The Studio in its DNA.
There's a kind of a semi dance sequence with Clooney in the middle.
There is. There's a party in Italy. Yeah,
it doesn't go far enough.
The still of this, the fucking the one production still of Clooney standing in front of the big billboard of his own face is sort of from this scenery where he's at this party where there's giant billboards of him and Sandler comes up to him and goes, Jay Kelly, so handsome. And he starts dancing with all these Italians, and there's like a camera attached to Clooney's face for a minute, so it's kind of like crazy shot of his face really close up. I did like that. I thought it was all right.
It was cool.
It didn't go far enough.
I thought it could have been, it could have gone further.
Could have been livelier. But then, anyway, he ends up being like, I'm going to go to my tribute.
His dad leaves next.
Yeah. He's like, Sandler, will you come with me to my tribute? So Jay and Ron sit down in the cinema, and they're like, here's a tribute to Jay Kelly. And they proceed to play a 90-second montage of George Clooney movies.
Yeah.
Michael Clayton, Burn After Reading.
Yeah.
Syriana, The Oceans is in there. The only thing they don't, there's at least two they do not show. They do not show Gravity. They do not show Fantastic Mr. Fox. They don't show Batman. There's a couple things that would verge into the absurd. They show all the George Clooney movies that
where he's playing a normal guy.
Where a normal person would struggle to identify the movie from one frame, right? So, like, if you go see that and you're not a cinephile, I mean, most people have seen the Oceans movies, but, like, if you were really out on movies, maybe you could be fooled into thinking that was all original footage they shot for this.
I did have someone ask me, are they all real Clooney films?
Yeah.
I think they recognized one or two and were like,
but
just
like, they leave out the ones that are, like, too silly. Like, the ones that are franchises. And they don't show any other actors. You don't see Brad Pitt. You don't see Tilda Swinton or Tom Wilkinson. You know, it's very much this is just Clooney.
You do see the horse from Michael Clayton.
You do see the horse and the car blowing up. I mean, it's so silly, and it cuts back and forth to his face watching it, which just kind of takes you out of it. But then it shows you all the other characters from the movie sitting around watching it with him,
and all smiling at
and like people who are not there. Like it's Jim Broadbent's there, who's dead, and the fucking the random German guy from the train is there, and all of this.
Like the monkeys in the crowd of Better Man.
It is like the monkeys in Better Man.
It's fine. Sorry. I was actually like, I don't want to say quite moved by it, but I really enjoyed it, and I liked it. I like seeing careers summarized.
I was not moved by it, but I was certainly like, well, this is good fun.
I didn't sit there and roll my eyes. I was like, oh
no.
I was like, I like.
I think a lot of people are going to hate it, but
very likely.
That shit works on us.
Then again, if you hated the end of Babylon, you will hate this as well.
Now, something I've learned as we recorded this podcast: cinematographer on Jay Kelly, Linus Sandgren. You know what he shot? Babylon.
No way.
Isn't that interesting?
There's a bit of...
The man has shot 2 of these exact same scenes. This is the last...
his idea.
Yeah, this is the last 10 years of Linus Sandgren's career. La La Land, Battle of the Sexes, First Man, The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, No Time to Die, Don't Look Up, Babylon, Saltburn, Jay Kelly, Wuthering Heights, and Dune 3. That's some fucking career.
Emerald Fennell's guy.
That's insane. Like, he's Chazelle's guy. Fennell's guy, Adam McKay,
Baumbach's guy,
and this now, like, and Baumbach normally works with Robbie Ryan, and it is honestly a shame that Robbie Ryan didn't shoot this. In my opinion, I think he would have done a much better job.
I think so. Yeah. I don't think the way it's shot is an issue at all.
Nina Rice, the sound designer, worked on this because I did once witness a conversation between. Or my coworker witnessed a conversation between Cillian Murphy and Nina Rice, where Cillian Murphy basically was like, "Do you want to come work on Steve?" And she was like, "No, I'm working on Jay Kelly." This was like a year and a half ago. Yeah. Very funny.
I'm working on Jay, not Steve.
Yeah. And then Clooney looks directly into the camera. Sorry, Sandler and him like hold hands, and there's this moment. It's the fucking shot from the poster, like.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment of like they really don't have anyone but each other. This dysfunctional codependent relationship is all these guys have. I think that's an interesting way for the movie to end, though, is that like this is an unhealthy relationship where one guy depends on the other guy for work and the other guy needs to be babysat, but it is all they have and they'll have it forever.
But there's ultimately no real resolution to that.
Yeah, there's more should there be. It's a cynical ending.
It's very cynical.
And I think this movie needs to have a cynical ending because it's so goddamn earnest for the first 2 hours. Like, and Baumbach being earnest makes no sense. I mean, if you think about Baumbach depicting the film industry in his films before, you're talking about While We're Young with the Charles Grodin as the father-in-law that Stiller resents, and like this movie has none of the kind of the biting satire that has about filmmakers. Like, it's kind of astonishing. Like, even casting Jim Broadbent, who is human Paddington Bear, as your classic filmmaker character, and he's like, "Oh, Jay, please come work with me." It's like the most harmless, innocent man in the entire world. Anyway, Clooney looks directly into the camera at the very end and goes, "Can we have one more?"
What have you done lately?
He goes, "Can we have one more take?" And then it cuts to black.
Yeah, again, that's a recurring line where he seems to want to do one more take at the end of all his...
which is not a particularly interesting or unique characteristic.
It's not, because they don't justify it.
I know.
They're not... They don't
I know. They don't explain what's going on there.
I don't know either.
Anyway. That's it. That's the movie. Score by Nicholas Britell. I thought was quite nice.
Yeah.
Thought it was pretty good. I don't like it as much as I like the Randy Newman score from Marriage Story, but it's pretty good. Britell is hit or miss nowadays, I feel. It's been a while now since he did something I was really impressed by. He was on an insane run there with Vice and Beale Street and Succession and yeah, all that stuff. And now it's, I feel like, been maybe 3 or 4 years since he's done anything I really cared about.
Yeah.
But anyway, the main attraction, I suppose, of this discussion is that we saw all the boys on stage before the movie began.
Yeah.
So we attended the gala premiere of this film at the London Film Festival. So we were lurking around outside beforehand. This was on the Royal Festival Hall on Friday evening. And on the red carpet, we saw Lenny Henry. And we saw what turned out to be Thaddeus Graham. And then we saw Louis Partridge, who... less of a novelty there because I've never seen this man in anything before in my life.
What happened this night? Did we just decide not to stay out and see the boys come in the red carpet?
We didn't really know what was going on. No, we wandered in like a back entrance by accident, and then we just stayed inside.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, we're late. I don't know. No one needs to hear this. Anyway, Louis Partridge was there. He's currently starring on House of Guinness, so he's around. We went inside then anyway, and the intro to the film was a bunch of them up on stage. Weirdly, Louis Partridge and Lenny Henry did not go up on stage. No. No, Louis might have, but Lenny Henry definitely didn't.
He did.
No. He was wearing a very distinctive red tuxedo. He was not in. I've been looking at those pictures I took. He wasn't there. Funny. I mean, he's in the film for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I will say when the cast list was released a year ago, my main question, I suppose, was what the fuck is Eve Hewson doing in here?
Sure.
But my second biggest question was what the fuck is Lenny Henry doing in here?
Absolutely.
I mean, Lenny Henry is an incredibly bizarre person to show up in a big American film. He really only exists on UK television and has recently branched out and is in the Lord of the Rings Prime series. But like, he's not an actor that shows up in things. He doesn't operate like a character actor in the US. Anyway, the lineup of guys that came out on the stage was led by Noah Baumbach and the producer David Heyman, who is, of course, the man who brought us all the wonderful Harry Potter series. I mean, he's like the first producer I could ever name. He was on so many DVD bonus features when I was a child. Then we had Clooney and Sandler. We had Grace Edwards. We had Jim Broadbent and Greta Gerwig. And was there anyone else
on stage?
Isa Fisher. And I think maybe one other younger actor. But that was it.
A picture in front of me.
Yeah,
I think Lenny Henry is on stage.
Did you see the red jacket?
No, he's in white.
No, he was wearing
Who's
red.
Who's that then beside Gerwig?
I don't know who that is. He's someone with a very small role in the film, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Lenny Henry's wearing red. Crudup and Dern not there. Dern is only landed in London on Tuesday for This Is This Thing On.
Yep.
No Patrick Wilson, no Eve Hewson. That's fine. Greta Gerwig, a very, very big director. Maybe one of the 5 biggest directors in the world right now. Standing on a stage, not speaking.
Definitely one of the most nameable.
Yeah. But she's like, if you were a Mr. Billionaire and you were like, I want a director to make my movie, I will hire anyone in the whole world.
Like Nolan, Spielberg,
Greta Gerwig is your top tier.
If you want to make a popular blockbuster. Yeah.
So like, it's kind of insane that she would be up on stage at a film festival just politely standing there not saying anything.
Yeah.
But it is such that she is the sort of 12th lead of her husband's new film, and she's in London filming her Narnia movie, and she may as well go up and stand there.
Miss Mortimer wasn't there.
No, she wasn't there. Married, of course, to the great Alessandro Nivola.
True.
And no Patrick Wilson, but yes, Isa Fisher, which is kind of random. Like, Isa Fisher was not in this movie enough to justify being there. But I'm so glad she was.
Strange person.
She's about to have Now You See Me, Now You Don't come out. Hopefully she makes a big comeback. I had a weird phase a few months ago, folks, where I just watched like 7 Isla Fisher movies in a week.
Inexplicable.
I had never had an opinion on this woman before.
It was like, it tilted on the negative. It was like,
I never liked her that much. And then I suddenly overnight was like, what an absolute delight Isla Fisher is, and like, deserved to have the career that Margot Robbie has had. It would be so nice if Isla Fisher was in Barbie and in Babylon.
She deserves it. This is an extreme take on your end.
Yeah, I know it's an extreme take, but it's just like swap out one
Australian.
Australian.
Well, that's what happens when you get married to a bad person.
Yes, she was married to a very terrible person for many years, and I hope she came out of it with lots of money and
good opinions.
But anyway, I guess the main attraction there was Clooney and Sandler, and it was fun. They were kind of like
acting the maggot
down the end of the stage. So Mrs. Australian Festival Director woman was like, "You two stop acting the maggot." And then Sandler used his time to pay tribute to Jim Broadbent, which is really nice because Jim Broadbent is the best. And
point you made is maybe they've never met before because they don't appear in any scenes together.
Yes, so they might never have met before.
I don't know. Were they all in the cinema at the end? They didn't necessarily mean they were on.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Clooney's and Sandler's wives were both in the room as well, I believe. Certainly they were on the red carpet. So yeah, that was all good fun. And that was the Jay Kelly premiere. It was a fun way to see a movie. The
best.
Have never like necessarily gone to a country, to a festival, to a screening where there was a cast.
It is the most seats in a venue I've ever seen a film in. I believe 1,000 people.
1,000 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was cool. And we proceeded then to go back to the exact same room, to the exact same row of seats, the 2 subsequent nights.
Yep.
On Saturday, we saw After the Hunt,
yes,
which is dog shit.
Absolutely.
Luca Guadagnino's new film. We got to see the cast again: Julia Roberts, Iowa DeBerry, Andrew Garfield, and the greatest actor alive, Michael Stuhlbarg, were all there. And that was really a major attraction for me going over to the festival, was just to literally lay eyes on Michael Stuhlbarg.
Michael Stuhlbarg, the drama queen, he is kind of rocked up a bit later than
he did, but we did get to see him. And Luca, in fairness, introduced him as like one of the greatest actors alive, which is like completely warranted.
Correct.
Which is also what Joaquin said about Renat Reinsve the third night. But it was both correct.
No one said it about Sandler or Clooney.
No, but they don't. I think Sandler and Clooney speak for themselves.
Jim Broadbent got that.
Yes, exactly. But no, I mean, Sandler and Stuhlbarg and Renat Reinsve are like 3 of my 10 favorite working actors. So this was very exciting. Crudup would be 2, but he was not there, alas. But so After the Hunt was pretty awful, and then we saw Sentimental Value on the third night, which we were going to do an episode about, but now I don't really feel up to it. I don't think I have much to say about it, and
no,
it is a good boy party.
Maybe
it's
upon rewatch,
we'll see. It's not out here till December anyway. It does function as a boy party quite well. Or I wouldn't say quite well. I mean, it operates as a boy party. Functions, I'm not so sure. It's sort of a dysfunctional boy party.
We've done significantly worse films.
We've done worse films. I just don't know if the careers of Skarsgård and Reinsve are quite boy party worthy discussion.
Reinsve has what?
She's got like 4 or 5 movies. But it's an interesting movie with 2 leads, and submitting Skarsgård to supporting actor is going to be category fraud. I would argue that Sandler in supporting is fine. It's fine. It's borderline, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because if you put Sandler in supporting, it knocks out any chance for the Crudups and Patrick Wilson.
Sure, like an idea we've had for next year's Golden Boys
is to have a lead, mid-level, and real supporting.
Yeah.
You know, and in that case, the likes of Broadbent and
Crudup, I guess,
Crudup would be going in supporting, and Sandler would sort of be in the mid-tier. This is the second lead category. You know. Skarsgård is simply the lead of Sentimental Value. There's no doubt about it. He's in an hour plus of that movie, like mostly doing his own thing with Elle Fanning off to the side. Like, anyway, other films I saw at the festival were Hamnet and Saipan.
I did not see those.
Both also boy parties.
Like Lucien has accidentally created the official poster for Saipan.
I know I have, which was showcased at Toronto Film Festival apparently. Weird. All these movies are boy parties. Like Hamnet, Mescal is being submitted in supporting actor. I would argue he's co-lead. He's probably in the movie 40% of the movie, and she's in 60% of it. I don't know.
Will we get to those this year?
I don't want to do an episode on Hamnet. It's not interesting enough. Saipan, we'll see. It's coming out here at the start of next year. A really, really good fun movie, a good Irish film. Éanna Hardwicke and Steve Coogan. I mean, those aren't really people we need to talk about on this podcast.
Stars.
We'll see what we can work out there. But Saipan is really good, and a really good two-hander that shares its sympathies and its time between those two men, Roy Keane and Mick McCarthy being those guys. A really good case of a boy party. So
and ultimately, this is our podcast, and we make the rules.
We'll make the rules, and we'll talk about whatever we goddamn please. Are there any other big movies coming out for the rest of this year? Now, sorry, some people are listening to this on the Adam and Ben feed. We need to keep those people in mind.
Yeah.
Are there any movies coming out for the rest of this year that are boy parties?
The Pattinson, Jennifer Lawrence thing?
Yes, the Pattinson, Jennifer Lawrence thing. Die My Love. Is this thing on, potentially? An Arnett Dern two-hander?
Potentially.
Pillion is a Harry Melling, Alexander Skarsgård two-hander.
Yeah.
Nuremberg. Russell Crowe, Rami Malek. And then
I think we've started a movement.
Eternity, Callum Turner, Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller. Good Fortune, Keanu, Aziz, Rogan.
History of Sound.
History of Sound. I'm getting the vibes that Josh O'Connor's very supporting in that.
Sure.
But yes, Frankenstein,
Theory.
Oscar Isaac, Elordi.
Wuthering Heights.
That's not until next year.
Oh,
Wuthering Heights for sure, but that's February.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was our London Film Festival experience. Nothing else to say about that, really.
London, my first time there. Not a bad city. Dublin on steroids.
Yeah.
And
a well-run film festival.
Yeah.
I thought it was well-run. I thought I got good value for money. I was able to get tickets for everything I wanted to, and I was able to see lots of films, and I was happy.
A little bit late. The fact that we were able to get tickets so easily maybe suggests that it's not that well-run, and it's not as popular as it should be.
No, that's not true. Everything was sold out.
Everything was
I'm
sold,
just
yeah,
extremely fucking good at getting tickets.
100%.
Thank you for giving me so much credit.
You're welcome.
Anything on the Adam and Ben side of things that we should be discussing? Wife guys, there isn't.
Greta
Gerwig is the wife.
Like,
in this.
sorry, it's the most qualified wives of all time.
Yes, it's the most overqualified. I know. Greta Gerwig, Larder, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We talked about Greta Gerwig on our Greenberg episode, so you can listen to that.
Sandler got anything else in the works?
Has Sandler got anything else in the works? That's a great question. What does Sandler have coming up next? I genuinely don't know.
He's not come back to the Safties, is he, for something?
There was meant to be a Safdie movie with the baseball card shit. With, With Affleck. But sure, the Safdies are off fucking on completely different direction now.
White Crack in Brooklyn, as we said.
Adam Sandler, upcoming films. He's got something here called Roommates, and then he's got Untitled Adam Sandler Safdie Brothers Project. Roommates is the new film. What the hell? This is the new film directed by I Like Movies director Chandler Levac. Sandler is on the cast list of that, along with Annalise Mischler, Natasha Lyonne, Chloe East, Nick Kroll, Storm Reed. Oh, I'll believe this one when I see it.
Sure.
I don't know about that. So yeah, Sandler's kind of not got anything in the works.
And Clooney?
Oh, I don't know.
We did very little dive into the careers of these two. We've covered them before.
We can talk about Clooney in a second, because it has been a very long time since we've talked about Clooney.
Yeah.
It was Burn After Reading last time we discussed him.
Yeah.
What does George Clooney have coming up? He's probably directing some dog shit historical film.
Not a very good director.
He is not a good director. He has one upcoming credit, and it's probably the fucking Ocean's 14 that they're talking about doing.
That'll be a boy party.
Sure.
Maybe that's the time we finally do the Ocean's films.
Yeah, he just did Good Night and Good Luck on Broadway as well.
Aye.
Clooney wise, I mean, recently the movies that he starred in, it's Wolves, it's Ticket to Paradise, The Midnight Sky. Prior to that, it was like Money Monster, Hail Caesar, Tomorrowland. I mean, he's made like 6 movies in the last 10 years. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll talk about him again soon, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's our episode. That's our Jay Kelly episode.
No box office game, because Netflix doesn't release box office.
Well, also
that's not out yet.
This movie is released on Netflix on December 5th.
We're getting well ahead of this one.
Yeah, people probably won't be listening to this for another while, and it's in select theaters November 14th. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. You can find episodes of Boy Party every week at boypartypod.com. You can follow the show Boy Party Pod on Instagram, and Adam and Ben will be back at some point in the near future. Who knows when? Whenever one of the boys has a new movie out, but there's nothing really on the horizon right now. Oh, Ben Stiller's doing that thing with Jessica Chastain, the Apple series.
Nice.
We'll do that. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.